Welcome, Chipola Nation. I'm Stan Young, head brain bowl coach here at Chipola College. And today I have with me two of our four players that played on our national championship team this year. I have over here to my right, I have Devin Tharp, who is our team captain. He's played with us for 2 years. He, um, he has led us to two national championships and one state championship, and hopefully another. We play this next weekend in Jacksonville, so hopefully that'll be his second state championship. And over here to my left, I have Ian Hatcher. He's a first year player for us, so he now has one national championship because he won his first one this year. And I'll let them talk a little more about, introduce themselves, tell a little bit more about themselves here in just a minute. But before we do that, I was just going to talk a little bit about our team this year. This is probably the most complete team that we've had at Chipola since I've been here, which is saying a lot because I've been here 21 years, and we've had a lot of good teams here, but this one seems to have every subject area covered. Each player kind of has their assigned roles. And so, overall, as a team, the one thing people say, the comments I get the most from other coaches is they're just impressed that we have a full team because a lot of teams have one good player, two good players, but we happen to have four really, really good players this year. So I'm going to start over here with Devin. And so, Devin, why don't you tell Chipola Nation a little bit about yourself, where you went to high school, um, maybe some things like what you're majoring in and what your future plans
For
are.
sure, yeah. So I'm a sophomore here at Chipola. I'm going to graduate here in May, and I went to Cottondale High School, and I played quiz bowl there uh, from since middle school, so sixth grade to 12th grade, and we had a great coach there. His name was Mr. Dillmore. He really coached up me and another player on our team, Jeremy Skurlock. He's not here, but he was definitely a big influence on us, and I am an English major, and I plan on going to FSU to get my bachelor's and master's in that.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Devin came from a really good high school program, as he mentioned, and he played for Cottondale High School. And they actually finished fifth in the small school, national high school, and second in the very small school. So Devin and Jeremy, who we'll talk about a little more in a minute, but Devin and Jeremy came in here from a really good program. They've got a really good coach over there, Clay Dillmore. And over here we have Ian. So Ian, tell us a little bit about your background, where you went to high school, what you're going to major in, what your future plans are.
Yeah, so I am a senior at Malone High School, and I'm early minted here at Chipola. I'm committed to FSU. I will be going there in the fall as a junior, technically, and I will be majoring in political science. And my plans to go into lobbying. In terms of quiz ball, I've been playing it off and on from middle school, sixth grade, and started at Grand Ridge and then went to Malone. Been at Malone for a lot longer than Grand Ridge, and really good program over there. We won a state championship for Beta. Lots of support from club sponsors, and yeah.
So Ian, yeah. So I've had Ian on my radar since middle school because he's played in tournaments over here. So I've known about Ian for a long time. Finally got a chance to play for us this year, and Ian kind of so because Ian was basically kind of the superstar at his high school, and he was their number one player, and so he had to come in to this team, which was already somewhat established to three players that had won the national championship last year, and he had to fill a role this year, which he did very well, and had some big buzzes for us coming down the stretch. In the championship game, I think he ended up with something like five toss ups for us, and some really big buzzes for us. So he did a great job. So we also have two other players on our team that are not with us today, Jeremy Scarlock and John Maupin. And so I'm gonna kind of let uh, Devin and Jeremy are they're really good friends, close friends. But I'm actually going to kind of switch it up here. So I'm going to let Ian tell y'all a little bit talk about Jeremy, like what he's good at, kind of like some things that he brings to the team.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Jeremy really brings, I would say, first off, he great science, great fine arts player, a lot better than Stan is at fine arts. But what his biggest contribution to the team is a competitive spirit. In quiz bowl, it's an academic sport, so it's kind of bunned up, not really. It's cordial, I would say. But Jeremy is a football player that is playing quiz bowl due to circumstance, and he brings that football competitive spirit to the team, and he motivates us to be on our A game consistently. And he backs up his mentality. He's one of the most competitive people I've ever known, and he loves to win.
It's kind of funny because we have this. We always talk about, do you love the game? Do you love playing this game? And if you ask Jeremy, if you go, Jeremy, do you love the game? Jeremy says, no, I love winning. So that's kind of his standard answer. And we have another player from Bluntstown named John Maupin. And so I'll let Devin talk a little bit about John, how he is as a player, what he
Yeah.
brings to us.
So he's predominantly our history player, an amazing history player. We call him John the Gift Maupin because a former player, Braden Hand, John played before, I believe, at Bluntstown.
Yes.
Is that correct? Yeah. But Braden was the one who really brought him into practice, and he was getting these insane buzzes on historical facts that just will always go right over my head, along with geography. We have a running joke that like he'll buzz and he'll say a random island, and that island just spawns on the map. It didn't exist before, and I think that speaks to like just how deep his knowledge is on history and geography and just really obscure stuff. And in the past few years that I've known him, he's not a very talkative guy, but I mean, he really does bring a sort of camaraderie to the team in his own way. And yeah, I'm glad to have known him for the past few years. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
That's right. We often talk about with John on a lot of the things he buzzes in, where the rest of us are looking at each other. We're going, what was that? But yeah, he's a solid player, really solid. So I mentioned in the beginning that we won the Community College National Championship a couple of weeks ago. We went up to Chicago. 24 community colleges across the nation compete in that, and we had to, we made a run through that. So I'm gonna go back to Devin here, and Devin, talk, kind of give people an idea about how that tournament is run, like how it's set up, how it's run, and about our journey through it, like how we navigated through, like talking about even like our loss and how we made it to the final and what all
Yeah.
happened.
So we went in knowing that there were going to be some tough rounds. Last year, our main competitor, we had one or two, like
Mhm.
Valencia College in Orlando, Murray State in Oklahoma. Very, very, very good teams, good people, and we knew it was going to be a challenge for sure, especially with having to build up a kind of like we had the same people except for Ian, but like we had to get that team chemistry right and know how to improve. And in the preliminaries, it was going pretty smoothly at the start, and then the second day we had to play Murray State in the prelims, and it was not the prettiest game for us at all. And we were just kind of sitting there dumbfounded, and like it was hard.
Mhm.
I mean, like even before that, we played Valencia, and it came down to the very last question. And if that question had swung their way, we would have gotten,
Mhm.
like I think,
Third?
yeah, third.
Mhm.
And just that's how tight these competitions can be, and that's really stressful. That puts a lot of
Absolutely.
it puts a lot of stress on us. And afterwards, we had to kind of learn how to bounce back from that because we've had a very successful season, and last year we did too, and it was kind of hard to accept that, I guess. But I think we did a great job of bouncing back after that. I mean, how'd you feel?
I mean, that match with Valencia was very tense, and I mean, I've played some tough games before, but in terms of stress, that was most definitely that or the Murray State games were the most stressed I've ever been playing this game. What really stressed me out was it was I think it was question 17. So there are 3 more questions left. I hear behind me this guy whispering
Listen, we don't need to.
to a friend saying they're in trouble, and I have never heard him say that about us. And I was mortified that he thought so little of us in that moment.
I thought I had whispered that. I didn't mean for the team to hear that. But one thing, talking about getting in those stressful situations, we went into the tournament as the number 1 seed, and a lot of times it's easier to be the chaser than it is to be the one that's getting chased. And so, a lot of the teams, we're supposed to win a lot of these games, and so I think some of those better teams take their shots at us, and in this game that can work for them. And I think we're kind of playing. I mean, we play to win, but sometimes we know do y'all agree with that? We're kind of playing a lot
Yeah,
not to lose some.
As the challenger, you're kind of more justified. You can play very aggressively. You can buzz on things that you're not entirely sure it's right, but I mean, you have a pretty good chance. And Murray State and Valencia both exploited that fact when they played. They played us very aggressively, which meant they negged more than usual, but they also beat us to a lot of stuff. And our team is so cemented in a winning culture, and we're used to winning these games and our skill level that uh, we were kind of complacent. And I'm going to buzz at the clue. I always buzz on. I'm not going to go out and reach for this if there's a chance I could be wrong. We were playing really close. We were holding our cards close to our hands. So it was that certainly played a factor.
Yeah, and I'll say, for being the team that's supposed to win, I think we played it right because the other teams, did end up making mistakes, and we kind of let it happen, and we just kind of stayed. Even when Murray State took the lead on us in the final, they made a big run on us, and we just kind of calmed down and got back in it. So, and we ended up pulling it off. And Devin, you mentioned that we won. Did you mention we won 2 in a row against them?
I didn't. So
Okay.
yeah. So we had to go into the finals disadvantaged, meaning we would have to win twice in a row, and they would only have to win once to win the entire tournament. Obviously that's
Yeah.
a lot to take on.
Not good.
Yeah, for sure. And we kind of know now how they felt last year because we had the advantage. That's a lot to take on. I mean, you have to win a whole 22
Yes,
22 toss-ups.
especially with that loss from the prelims hanging in your mind. You're like, how
Yeah,
are we going to
no.
beat these guys twice in a row?
For sure. So I think that the turning point was, I mean, we won the first round. We're on an even playing field now, and I think that's when they realized,
Yes.
this could actually happen. That's when we realized too. So we just had to make sure we were calm, collected, not playing too tightly because, like you mentioned, we're really used to buzzing on clues that we're absolutely certain on, whereas really good players like Murray State's would feel a bit more free, buzzing
Yes.
on a hunch rather than
Yes.
a cemented fact. So we had to learn to adapt in that moment, I think. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. Those games were just incredibly stressful, and I think the bond we built over this year and the bond that they all have over their years of playing and their experience was what really allowed us to maintain our composure after that Murray State loss. Because to be honest, I thought it was over. I'm going to be entirely honest. I thought we were done for. But Jeremy gave a great pregame speech to get us back in the moment. This guy wouldn't give a pregame speech, but Jeremy gave a great one. And
To be fair, I didn't realize y'all were outside. Okay.
We wander a lot during these tournaments.
We do.
We oh my God, we'll just go to the
I
opposite side
didn't
of the
even
hotel.
realize y'all had left, and then another coach came in and he said one of your players is out there giving the speech of his lifetime to your team, and so I said, well, that's good. They've got it. They're doing well. Speaking of our bond, I want to move into that because we did develop. As
Absolutely,
any team does through the year, we developed. And one of the places that happened for us, and I was going to let you talk about, is we happened to win a tournament called ACF Fall this year. We traveled up to Georgia Tech, and we were the only community college that attended that. And we knew we had a pretty good team, so we were just going to take our shot and see how we did. And we ended up winning that tournament. It was a 4-year tournament. So we kind of some good things happened there for us that kind of started developing. So I was going to let
Absolutely.
you talk about Ian about like who we played in the final and that whole how that happened.
Sure. So ACF Fall was sort of a trial by fire for me. I mean, these guys, they're used to it, but that was, I think we played 12 rounds that day.
Mm-hmm.
We played 12 rounds that day, starting at 7, and we played until basically 7 at night. So almost 12 hours of quiz bowl, and against these big 4-year teams. And it was a trial by fire combat. I learned to really. I'm used to having to do all the buzzing at my high school, and really, I have to win us this game. But at ACF, I learned to. These guys, they're good at what they do. You have to trust them and trust in their ability to fulfill their role. And we do, as Devin was talking about, we wonder a lot during these tournaments. The night before we played, we walked about 2 miles just at night in Atlanta. Probably wasn't the smartest decision, but
No.
I feel like it contributed to our spirit of camaraderie throughout that. We lost to Clemson, but other than that, the final was also crazy. I think a prevailing theme of this year has been advantaged and disadvantaged final. So we almost didn't even have to play a final. Some with the stats, but Vanderbilt, their coach was like, "Y'all have to play this final, even though you're disadvantaged." So they had to beat us twice. And they talk about home field advantage. It was at Georgia Tech, but every single person in that room was a Vanderbilt fan. I mean, you had people coming in and out of the rooms. There was a marching band
There's a band playing
outside.
Crazy.
It was horrible. We lost the first match to them. It was awful, and we barely just held on and managed to cement our win in that tournament in the second match. But so that was the proving grounds for this year.
Yeah.
Most certainly.
Yeah, and I think that kind of helps us later on. We were real battle tested. We had gone through some of that thing. So so I want to go through. I want to do like a rapid fire questioning with y'all, and so I'm gonna ask you things about our team, and you can answer yourself if you're the answer to one of these questions. Okay. All right. First of all, besides me, who's the funniest person on the team?
I would say John, because he doesn't even try. Listen. He
This
doesn't
is-
even try. He's just so like, anything he says is funny to me.
This has
It's
got to be
amazing.
defamation. This
It's
is
amazing.
liable. This
What
is
would be your
slander.
answer?
Me. 100% me.
So Ian claims to be the team comic, and you are funny. I will give
You look
that.
genuinely betrayed. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I am betrayed. You Judas. Why
All
would
right.
you do that?
Who's the most competitive person on the team?
I would say
Jeremy.
Jeremy, yeah.
Jeremy.
Y'all both say Jeremy.
100%.
I think Jeremy.
Yeah.
Who would you say is the most serious person on the team?
I would say John, but then John, he looks serious on the outside, but inside he doesn't care.
Yeah.
He
He'll say some
we
pretty
could
goofy stuff
lose,
sometimes.
we could win. He would be outside eating a cookie on a bench. Either
Yeah.
way, probably.
He's been known to do that.
What do you mean serious in the game or just serious all the time?
All the time.
All the time. Maybe it is John.
Maybe
I
it
think
is.
John.
Yeah,
Jeremy's pretty goofy too.
Yeah.
We're all kind of goofy.
yeah.
Okay, this is easy. This will be unanimous. Who talks the most?
That's got to be John.
That's
Oh, okay.
all right. So y'all all have your individual subject areas, and more than one, I know. But who would? And y'all are all four great at your subject area. Who would you say in their particular subject area is the best at their subject area?
This is a hard question because
Yeah, it is.
I mean, like you said, we're all pretty deep
Yeah, it's
in our
tough.
in our area.
I mean, literature is just so broad, and you've also really taken on a nice job of doing music this year. We had Cade left; he was our music player, but honestly, Jeremy in fine arts, I mean,
oh, for sure.
he's
It's locked
just
down.
yes. I
Absolutely.
would say John, but some things he'll get the most.
John's the type of guy to read a Wikipedia page on the Nile River and not know the actual
Name of
Like-
the river,
like-
but he can.
the clues that they'll toss up the most in this
Yes.
because there's like a canon we call it where like
The normal clues that
they're
come
going
up.
to so like he's more likely to actually know like
the
Obscure,
esoteric,
yeah.
obscure,
Pretty obscure
most
facts
certainly.
about it.
So I would say Jeremy in 5
Yeah,
hours.
for sure.
Okay. All right. You may not have thought about this, but you may have to pull this like really quick. But do you have a favorite toss up this year?
Yeah. There's this game called Hades 2, and it
Mm.
was in the finals, I think. Was that in the finals?
It was either the finals or the first round of
Mm.
finals.
But no, it's a game just entirely based around Greek mythology and some of the more like obscure parts of it. It's set in the underworld, and it's a really good game, and I'm really happy that it came up, and I got it for sentence.
Ian?
Oh, it's so rough. You know, Flanders.
Mhm.
That was
Flanders
good.
was a good
It
buzz.
was such a big moment too.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
Well, maybe not.
No, it was.
We had already won.
It
Okay.
was
It was
a good
after
buzzer
the
regardless.
point that they could no longer mathematically win.
Yeah.
But I
it was
liked
the
it
cherry on top.
because it wasn't. It's kind of ironic. The things that I study American history, and it's a very narrow role compared to everything else. So when American history comes up, I like it and I try to get it, but I also I love getting to just be sort of the wild card player on the team and reach out and get some more non-canon stuff that doesn't come up a lot. And Flanders, I mean, it's a region in Belgium, I think. And I just knew that because when I was a kid, there was this World War One like song that a veteran wrote about in Flanders Fields, and I just knew that from when I was a kid. I looked into that, and I was happy it paid off. And yeah,
It was a great buzz, yeah.
So I just want to say that the community, I think, should be very proud of this team. I mean, not only for the wins. I mean, everybody likes a champion and likes people to win, but the way they represent our school, y'all would be very proud of how they build relationships with each other, and not just each other, with the other teams, and how this team recognizes when the other team actually gets good buzzes, and I think they built friendships with the other teams and built relationships. So I think the whole community has something to be proud of here, as I am. You know, I'm really proud of y'all. We still have some business to finish. We go next week to Jacksonville to play in the state championship, which is kind of confusing because we've already won the national championship. But the Florida state system is separate, and so Florida has their own state championship. So we'll go next week, hopefully, to defend that title because we are the defending champions there. And then April the 10th and 11th, we'll travel back to Chicago, where we will play in the 4-year championship. We'll be one of 3 teams, along with Murray State and Valencia, to play in the 4-year championship, where we'll get to play all kind of schools, including Ivy League schools, and we'll see kind of how we match up. I mean, that one obviously will be a lot tougher to win, but we're hoping we're really solid. So we're hoping hopefully to make one of the best runs the community college has made in a while. So, but we'll see how that goes. But this is the team. We just wanted to share a little bit with you today about some things we've done this year and some of the tournaments we won. And go Indians!